Today's episode is another one in the mindset series. We absolutely love this stuff. I've got Mandy McAllister, my co-host, tag team partner, joining us today. And today we're talking about networking and why we think networking is so important, right? We've all heard the terms, your network is your net worth. Well, we really believe in that. And we talk about the reasons why we think that's important and some tips and tricks to help improve your networking because we think it's so important. So stick around for all of today's episode. Hello and welcome to Wrestling with Real Estate, where we look to chokeslam all your real estate problems. I'm your host, former WWE wrestler and now Cirque du Soleil performer, and of course, multifamily real estate investor, Barri Griffiths. Now, Mandy, the chokeslam McAllister, is with us today. Hey, Mandy, how you doing?
Hi.
Oh, hi.
Oh, that's great.
You're great. So I'm happy that you're here. I'm happy that we're talking about mindset stuff. And today we're going to jump into talking about networking, right? We hear it all the time. Your network is your net worth, right? You are the sum of the 5 people you surround yourself, right? And it's said over and over again, but there's certain things that's said over and over again for a reason, right? Mm-hmm. Why do you think networking is so important?
Oh, just like you said, if it's a colloquialism, if it's a old wives' tale, it's that because it probably has a lot of truth to it. And networking is so important. Honestly, all networking really is. Like when the word networking to me can feel a little bit icky, right? Because, I'm going to network so that this person will do this thing for me. And like, that's when I changed my mindset on what networking really is, it's just going to make friends, right? Like, so I set out when I meet people who are doing something that I want to do, like I just kind of turn on my intellectual curiosity and ask a bunch of questions. And, I don't want anything out of them. I just want to like learn what they know. I want to be the one directing the conversation insofar as I'm asking the interested questions. So for me, networking has really yielded partnerships. It has yielded doing deals. It has yielded, finding passive investments to get in on. It's yielded the opportunity to be on this podcast with you, So if you look at it in a way that feels icky and self-serving, it can be weird. But if you look at it in a way that, you're just out there to make friends and learn something, hopefully by asking informed, intellectually curious questions, then it's a completely different ballgame. So what does networking mean to you?
No, you struck the nail on the head right there. Because, to me, before the word networking felt dirty. It was like, ooh, I'm going to network with all these people, right? Or like, does that mean I'm going to kiss ass? Does that mean I'm going to be fake, right? But no, it's what you said, right? If you just replace that word with networking with, hey, I'm going to talk to some fun people. I'm going to try and make some new friends. I like what you said. I want to learn what they've learned, right? I want to know what they know, right? And I like that a lot. And if you have that inquisitiveness, right? If you're really wondering about people and you're really interested in people, right? Networking isn't that hard. And networking as well, to a lot of people, sounds intimidating as well, right? It can sound like all it is going to have a conversation, right? And essentially, if you're struggling with that, right? And because I know there's people that are introverted, and sometimes I get shy and I go into a group and stuff like that. All you have to do is think about, that's my wife, right? She's like, you're the weirdest introvert extrovert I've ever met. Like, but just ask questions. It's as simple as that. You don't need, if you don't good at talking about yourself, the more questions you ask, the better it is actually, because you're not there to talk about yourself, right? If they ask you, of course, tell people. But you're there to find out about them. And that's, I think, to be honest, I think that's one of the best ways I found to create relationships. And I have a genuine interest in people. I want to know where you've come from, what you've done, like, what are you doing now, right? And if you have that genuine interest, I think networking becomes, I don't want to say easy because it's always somewhat of an effort. But, once you create that network and you're able to talk to people, right? The whole world opens up to you a lot more, right? If I'm just doing stuff by myself in my house, on my computer, on my phone, right? Okay, I can be successful like that. But if I'm, creating relationships with people, trying to help them, right? Trying to improve their lives, trying to bring value to their lives, they're likely to do the same. They may have like, oh, hey, I have a deal in Cincinnati. I don't invest in Cincinnati, but there's this deal. Or I have someone who's looking to invest in the market that you are. They're not interested in the market I am. Like, it's just all kinds of reciprocity stuff that you can do through networking that just benefits anyone. And it's just stuff that wouldn't be available to you if you didn't network, right?
Totally. I mean, Dale Carnegie said the best way to be interesting is to be interested, right?
Yes.
And if you think about anybody, their very favorite subject to talk about is themselves, right?
Yes.
I mean, honestly, like people love to teach, they love to impart wisdom. And if you genuinely just want to, I sell to doctors, and lots of times the best way to like earn their trust and build that rapport is to, really be intellectually curious. That's the thing that keeps coming up. But like, can I ask questions? Can they teach me something that they know? Because if somebody teaches you something, then there is some level of a connection there. So there's another thing that I love, that God gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth, so you should use them in that proportion, right? So and if you look at networking like in a way that you're there to take something away in terms of knowledge, you're going to win in really tremendous fashion, or at least that's how I choose to treat it.
Yeah, for sure, right? It's just how to win friends and influence people is a brilliant book on this.
Yep.
I love that book. Right? It's just thinking about other people and just considering where they're coming from and being interested in that. And I think just if you can grow your network, right? It's just, I don't know, for people who are fighting networking, right? Just the more people you have in the network, the more access you have to things, right? And stuff and people that can help you get to where you want to go, right?
And I'll say too that, kind of having doubled down on this networking stuff, like I chose to start a meetup. I chose to like start going to a bunch of different seminars. I, have way too many Facebook friends. Like what I really kind of learned is if I, if I'm paying attention to who's doing what, and I do have this like genuine like love for helping whatever, I can connect one person to another person. And once you connect those dots, it might be life-changing for those two people. And then, number one, what a really cool feeling. And then number two, that you're going to be someone special to those two because you've helped them solve a problem that they might not have even known they had. So networking kind of 2.0 is the ability to then connect people within your network.
Yeah. Well, some quick actionable tips. What are some quick actionable tips if people want to start networking more today?
Yeah. I feel like in this world of COVID, there's so many meetups. There are so many things that you can show up online and to leave so I mean, I'm a single mom and my kiddo goes to bed at 8 o'clock. Well, you know what? I can log on to a Zoom meeting and then have the networking piece at the end and learn something in the process in a way that I couldn't if it was out at a pub or a restaurant or whatever, So it's just, I mean, there's so many additional possibilities now in this world of COVID to do this networking stuff. So, number one, look for alternative ways to get in front of people, to meet people, to go make friends. And then number two, when you go get in those situations, be interested. Like really, figure out truly just hear what the person is saying, like think through what they're doing. And when you get curious about something, you'll come up with great questions to ask them. And if you are a tremendous introvert, I would say maybe number three is have a couple of questions in the back of your head kind of primed, so that if you're scared of an awkward silence or that gets extra weird for you, you have something to go to kind of relieve that, palm sweatiness. So I would say those are three pretty good places to start.
Yeah. And like you said, the big one I think is listen, right? Don't just wait for your turn to talk. Listen to thoroughly, deeply to what that person is saying and the meaning behind everything that they're saying. So cool. Networking is so important. Go out there and network, because with Zoom, it really isn't that hard these days, right? I go to meetup events all over the country, right? And I don't leave my office, right? It's just amazing. With Zoom, there's just so much stuff going on every night of the week. So I encourage any of you to get out of your comfort zone and go out there and try and speak to, one or two people, because they have breakout rooms as well in one of these meetup events, so it's cool. I know your meetup event is awesome. I've been to it a few times, so cool. Well, hey, if there's people listening today and they like everything that you're saying, and they should, and they're interested, they know that you're doing a lot of deals and you're having great deals. If they're interested in being passive investors in some of your deals, how can they reach out and get in touch with you and talk to you, have that conversation?
Yeah, the very best way to get a hold of me, mandymcallister.com. We have a little form if you want to get pre-vetted to potentially invest in our next deal and see if our goals align. Best way to do that is that form and start the conversation.
And then as we're talking about networking today, right? An important component of networking, or one way to do it, is through a coach and a mentor, because not only then do you create a connection with that coach and mentor, you get access to their network as well, right? And we're big components of, big fans of mentorship, of coaching. And I know recently you've just started taking on coaching clients. So if someone's interested, and they should be, in being one of your clients, how can they find out more and try and get in touch with you about that?
Yeah, sure. Thank you for that. Have really loved a chance to be a part of people's journeys. MandyMcAllister.com is a great place for that too. We are doing one-on-one coaching through my organization, but we're also doing some free stuff for ladies out of aspiring women achieving more. So there's paid stuff and there's free stuff. So come check us out, see if there's something that meets your goals.
MandyMcAllister.com. Go check it out. You cannot miss out. Thank you, Mandy.
Thank you.